Hello and welcome back to a very Eastern styled park, or at least that's what it started out as, but so far it still looks kind of Eastern stylish, kind of, you know, we're trying to keep the looks intact, and so far we're doing quite alright. We only need 1600 guests at the end of year 2, and well, we started out with, I think, 150. So technically, we only need 1450 guests in the park. That means that we are well on our way. I think for this year, we've already met the, the target amount of guests added. And yeah, we are quite on schedule to meet the goals without having ruined the looks of the parks, I might add. So now last, we left the construction over here without the ratings of the blue dojo yet available. And have we checked out this Lucky 7 ride? Oh, not bad. 2.74. If we did, I have forgotten. Yeah, you know, happens every now and then. Anyway, I also recall that when we last left, this path here was kind of an issue for us. And, you know, I've made a decision. It's not needed, so we can safely remove it. But before we do that, let's do a few important things. Like, hey, what do we see here? Minimus Maximus, you need your pricing adjusted. You've made all the money that you can for us. I think 150 is a more fitting price for the popularity that you have as a ride. Any other rides that need their pricing adjusted? It doesn't seem to be the case. No. Okay, good. Then let's do a vandalism check. And I have to admit, it is rather difficult to spot vandalism with these path tile looks. I mean, really, you know, all the squares and everything. One broken bench is that's difficult, but of course our trained and expert eye for vandalism spots it instantly, and I don't see any, so we're good, we're good. Then I also need to give a quick peek at what the eggheads are doing. They have researched us the Enterprise, and we should definitely build that at some point, but I also really want a coaster that we can afford. And man, am I not looking forward to building this if it turns out that we get like the hyper coaster with an approximate cost of 4,500, you know. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what we're gonna get. But first, let's do some park logistics here. I think that's the best thing to do right now. So let us do something like this. There. Just remove all the path, you know. It's a nice bit of cash as well, and in this phase of the park, cash is, I mean, all our rides are very good, don't get me wrong, but you know, they need to start making us the money. Also, just a moment. And I'm back. Yeah, just had to do something about the sniffling and snuffling and a latent cold that I have somewhere. So yeah, what we were doing was getting money and preparing this path here to be opened up. Now, just before we do this, or well, actually, you know, we can just do this. It's not really such a biggie. But in terms of like what we're gonna do with this path here, you know, like what's gonna be placed here. Not much really. We open it up just so that the logistics, you know, the flow of the guests in the park is better. But we're actually not going to build really that many rides over here. We're also not gonna build that many shops and stalls over here because the path is raised by 1. And what I do not want to do is ruin the beautiful landscape, you know, like, which is almost like a well, like a Japanese garden, so to say, with raised up squares, you know, and I also don't want to create islands in them just for some shops and stalls, which we frankly don't really need over here. So what we'll do is we'll add a ride over here just so that we have something here, maybe with a shop and stall here, and that's going to be it. This is just going to be some stretch of path where the guest can walk around and have a sit, and yeah, that's it basically. It's a bit unconventional, but it's also nice to later on move the path, because if we zoom out a little, that's kind of the aim of this, is to move this path, you know, construct it all the way over here and build rides on this plateau basically, you know, and then have it go all the way over here and build stuff here, and we're already on this island. So that's basically the plan for it. But for the first year, you know, I see this as like 3 parts of the park: first year, second year, third year. Bam, and Bob's your uncle. That's what they say, right? So yeah, to continue with this, all we need to do here basically is have you. Yeah, I was about to say, I clicked on the footpath there now, didn't I? So all we need to do really, for starters, is this, and then it should be good enough for us that we can open the park up right now. I'm just checking quickly to see if we have any really bad layouts here that might get the guest lost, but it doesn't really seem to be like that for the time being. So I think it's safe to open it up, and that we shall do. There now. Yeah, this is the one stretch that we need. And then, come on, you need to be gone. And the same for you. And there we have it. The section of the park is now officially open. And let's build something over there, shall we? You know what's also good about this is that even though our park isn't really that crowded yet, this will give the guests a lot more space, and the whole message of like, it's getting crowded here, now will be a lot less prevalent. So let's get a gentle ride out here. Something like the tower, I think will be good. Oh, and you know what? Let's check. Ooh, wow. I am so sick. I don't know which ride I went on last time. Is there any... Can I see this? Like, what was my... Oh, yeah, I should be able to see this, because I'm right at the exit of the... Oh, yeah, I went on the coaster, on the Chapyeong. How are our other guests doing, by the way? Harrison Piloso is on the Oyster Cloister, happy as a camper. And then Gunther is on the Tonking Bay, also happy as can be. Same for me. That's good, you know. Happy guests. That's what we like to see. Let's make them even more happy. That seems about right. You know, I think we can work something out over there. That is, once we remove this shrubbery over there. And of course, you know, the only proper way to construct this is as high as can go. Now, before we construct the exit, I just want to see, so we have like a 20 passenger capacity. That means that the ideal queue size is a 3-tile thing, which means that the entrance basically needs to be here, and then we go around there. Because then we have like a really short... Oh, and you know, by the way, if I want to construct the entrance, I should place it down first. Derp. So yeah, that's like the ideal queue size, I believe, because we have more or less 18, 19 people that we can fit on the queue. So yeah, that should be perfect. Good, good, good. Now let's see, what can we do when it comes down to naming this. Yeah, you know how we are gonna call this? Tafte? Yopun? I don't know if that means anything in any language, but I just think it sounds very, very, very Eastern style. I might have been slightly inspired by some Anthony Bourdain in some weird country. You know, somewhere. So, yeah. In terms of coloring though, I don't think we can live with this blue that we have here. Definitely not. What we need is, we could go white with a dark red. And then, let's go with the, no, not that bright green. No. Yeah, with a darker green. And then this should just be like a brown, and then maybe some black. I'm not really sure about this. Nor am I really sure about this. Could we go in the reverse with this? I don't know, really. It looks better, but now I'm getting second thoughts about the squares here. What if we just make these white? I think this looks the best. You know, I like this more than what we had just a moment ago. So let's leave it at this. And because we do not have an exit that's dedicated, we don't really need handy dudes and all that stuff set up. What we are gonna do though is this: get a new loose walking mechanic, as we have quite a few rides now that need inspection and all. Oh wow, and these aren't even back yet. They're getting close though, they're getting close, but well, they're not there yet. Also, what we need to do is get some food stuff out here, and you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna get the chicken thing out there. Because we have everything else we already have two of, but this we do not. So, there, nice, alright. Excuse me. Now, it's going to rain. It's a good thing we've built this, because this will also be popular whilst it's raining, so that's actually good. As for our next ride, the mine train coaster. Really? That's the way you're gonna do this game? That's the way of it now? In all honesty, even though I really feel like we definitely need a more affordable coaster, I think the game's telling me, you know, you're not gonna get a more affordable coaster. You'll deal with what you have. And the way I read that is, hey, have a look at this wooden side friction coaster that you're avoiding to build. Or try your hands at a dirt cheap steel roller coaster. You know, in all honesty, I'd much rather do the latter than get the side friction coaster. So, we're not going to try our hands at the side friction thing. I am going to map out, like, the next section of path that we are going to need, you know, to open up more areas of the park. And then something more like this. And then something more like this. Now this is just for me to make sure that we're doing the right thing here. I feel like this is too far out. Yeah, this is way too far out. What I feel like we should do is, rather than go all the way over here, is move it a little bit closer to this bit here. Definitely. Alright, time to redo it a little. And I know we're wasting money. I know, and we could have spent this at other things that were more, you know, a better expenditure for our money on the park, but whatever. I feel like this is the right way to go. And then something like this. There, right, nice. Let's get this benchified and, you know, all the things. Just so that we can have this operational. Wow. Is this thunder a bad thing or what? I mean, we need money, and the last thing we can use for that is a thunderstorm, making our guests all afraid to go on all the coasters that we build with our precious money. Also, yeah, no. Alright. There is no more loaning money for us here either. So let's just get this set up so that we can start construction over here in this new section. Because I feel like it's time that we start doing this. We'll leave this, you know, as it is for the time being. And ooh, I believe we have ratings which are actually high. What? Okay, and it's also almost 5 minutes. So if I were to calculate that, that's like 300 seconds or so with 12 boats. Which means that this is actually rather close. But I believe we need like at least 25 seconds for 12 boats. Not entirely sure, but do we really? Yeah, actually we do, because that's like 250 plus another 50. Yeah. Leave if another boat arrives at station. No. I might have checked that accidentally. Right, what we should do is hook up this section of the park here. And let's build a ride in this area, shall we? I think it would be really cool to somewhat mask the ugliness in the terrain that we've created over here. And I have the perfect ride to do this with. And that is going to be the Enterprise ride. So let's remove the trees. And I believe this should totally be doable here. So, and we could also then share the exit. Yes. Yes. Now, oh wow, and that was also a very short thunderstorm, now was it? Have we... Yeah, good, okay. So, what we then will do is, let us see, because, again, I kind of want to know how many... 16. And we can set the amount of rotations to 20. Let's go with a double load on the queue. So that means that we need to accompany 32 guests, which is equal to 5 tiles. Yeah, guys, get used to it. We're gonna math out our queue lengths from now on. If there's one thing that I took away from you know, doing the experimentation with the go-karts that we did in the previous park, it is all about the queue. It's all about the queue length. That much I do know now. So let's set this to $5. Yes. Play music. Go with Oriental style. We also have Toyland style. Is that any good? Let's listen to it. Oh, I believe we need to open this to actually be able to listen to it. And that's... Yeah, I think this should be alright. Okay. Now, you know what? We'll leave it on. We will rename this, though. Let's try and see... Oh, yeah. No. You know... instead of the land of the rising sun, this is the land of the rising star. There you have it. It's easy, but I'm sorry, I have to. Also, when it comes to coloring, definitely do we want red on the inside, but white... Wait, hold on. What if we reverse this? Does that mean that we get like a red circle inside? We kind of do. What would look better, you guys think? I think this looks better. So, we'll stick with it. It's decided. Here's me asking you questions and then deciding myself. Anyway, now that we have opened up this section of the park here, what we definitely also need to get are some more facilities out there. Because if we don't, then yeah, it's gonna be bad times for the guests in this part of the park. So we'll open this up. And then also add like one of the sea fruity stall thingy combinations. You know, this one. Oh, crap! I see I made a grievous mistake here. You, handy dude, are going to be on the path without this ticked on. How could I forget? Yeah, okay, alright. It was just one mistake. One tiny mistake. Might have cost us dearly. Also, we have another one of these stall combinations like right over there. So what I don't really want to do is place it like too much over here. So we'll actually, yeah, because the other one's there. We'll stick it also over there. So let's get that sorted. Exotic seafood thing with the drinks there. And you know what we'll do is we will also add another one of the kiosks. Now, what color did we go with for this one? I believe it was yellow. No, it was red. So let's go with a golden color here. Red and gold, right? I think that's a perfect color combination. I'm not sure if many guests will go over here, but at least, you know, they now have a park map, so... So what should we do right now? Probably get ourselves a coaster. Looking at our money, we're not gonna get a coaster. Now instead, I feel like maybe we should try our hands at the slide. You know, we're not gonna let that one... Okay, that was too easy, too cheap. But you know what I feel like might be interesting? What if we try and build the slide in the underground, like right over here? And then have it connect up to this section over here? Because basically what's going to happen is that this path, you know, once we continue the park expansion, will just hook up here. And that will basically give us access to these bits as well as be able to build over here. But I don't really plan to get a lot of things over here other than tracks. So what we could do is get the slide out there in the underground. And then what I'm thinking is like have the station and then down. Curve, lift. Because we are in the underground, we basically can get ourselves some starting speed. So I think we should just go for it, you know. I'm not looking at our money. I don't want to see or know it. So we're just going to do it. We will have to do some necessary terrain butchering just to get this started. But yeah, we're just gonna... Money? What's that? We are not affected by it. We don't care about the money. Money doesn't mean anything to me. Yeah, I am the new Bernard of tycoons. For anyone who catches that reference. Oh, great show, by the way. Now, also, just to hook this one up, let's not build it over there, you know, the entrance, but let's build it like right over there. Because basically we're gonna restore the terrain to its former glory here. Come on. I'm not sure exactly how it was, but I believe this should be pretty close to making it look good again. There. Also, entrance, please. We'll worry about the exit a bit later. We will do it like this though, just so that it works. Also, just you know, just to check. This actually doesn't look so bad. It kind of looks like, you know, aside from the you know, the closed sign here. It actually doesn't look so bad. Same for this. It kind of looks like some kind of ancient temple thing, you know, as if it's part of the scenery. Anyway, let's get back to slide construction. So far, because we go like this, you know, basically right now. Oh, and I might want to just go like this. Not sure if it will launch itself off. I don't believe it will with a wide curve. We'll find out though, you know, if it crashes, it crashes. That's basically my stance on things. Also, you know what we should do first is actually hook this thing up when it comes to queue pathing, because we're like, and exit pathing, because we are like in the underground, and if we make it impossible for ourselves to hook up to anywhere, yeah, we are in trouble basically. So I think it also doesn't really need to be that difficult. Yeah, let's just go with something like this. Now, I know that that's really short, but at the same time, I don't really need it to be that long. Let's see. Because I believe that if we go up here, we are gonna create a square. And we are allergic to squares, so we don't build them. Right? That's good tycoon logic. Wait, what now? Oh, there is a tree in the way. Not anymore! Look at me with the chainsaw! Ding, 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 ding! And gone are the trees. Now then, oh, okay. Oh, wow, so we are actually, like, right... Huh! That's a cool, that's a cool one. Look at what's gonna happen here. So you have the exit path, and at the same time you have like the lift with the guests who have already been on the ride. Oh. That is, if I can get the shrubs away. I think that this is pretty nice. But just, you know, it's not nice. we really need to work on this situation here. It's not good. So basically what we could do is drop it like it's hot and then return. That would be lame. What I would love to do is drop it and then somehow make our way through the track over here, get back in the underground, and then return to the station with a curve. Because we don't really have the money to do something ultra fancy, basically. So let's see what we can come up with here. So yeah, this is also like prime real estate that I kind of want to use for other things than this type of track construction. We're also at height 11. So if we do this though, just make sure to then afterwards do this. Now, just to make sure, yeah, the path that we want to be, the path height that we want to be on is like height 10. I just verified this. Oh, Harrison, you've left the park. Probably because you were out of money. Also, I feel like this is, you know, covering up that curve, to me, feels like the smart move to make. And then, basically, I kind of want to do that again, like a little bit later, over there. And then see what we can do with an S-bend to the left. Now, let's just heighten this up a little bit. I don't know if it will have speed enough to kind of not get launched here. So just for safety reasons, we build it like this. But I think it is kind of... Come on, come on. I think it is kind of cool that we visit the path here, you know? I think that's not a bad addition to this ride. And then basically, just to make sure that we'll make it without crashes, we will... Oh, hold on a second. Let me have a look here. Because we might be derping something up here that I don't really... Oh, and also, I saw, you know, just recalled it. The swinging ship, that's good. Let's get another gentle ride here. Because that's another thing that we need. And you know what we might even do later on? Is get ourselves another type of shops and stalls. I'm not sure if we really need that right now. Maybe we'll do that like halfway in year 2 or something. Because we have quite a few coasters to build. And once the money really starts coming in, we should be good to... And I feel like we're gonna have bonkers amount of speed looking at this. I don't think we actually need this over here, but I've learned my lesson with this. Just go ultra safe with this, you know. In such a way that it cannot go wrong. But just looking at the height, we should have plenty of speed. We might even launch the dinghies from this S-bend there. Might. Not sure though, not sure. No, but what I'm looking at is like, if we go down steep here, I think what we'll have is interference with the coaster. But at the same time, our station is like right over there. So, what should we do here? I think we should try and get into the underground ASAP. So, that to me means... going down here like this. And now we have at least cleared out the track of the roller coaster. Have we now? Why isn't this working? Or is it working? Raise or lower the land. What have we done wrong here? Something, we derped something up badly. Yeah, we did. I don't know, I tried to keep the terrain as nice as possible. Also, what we should probably do, something like this. Wait a second, now of course it's impossible for me to get the selector on that tile. No! That was an accidental click that we have to restore right now. Balls! Not what I wanted to do. I accidentally clicked here. Crap. Yeah, so you might think like, okay, damage, why are we doing this part in particular? This is all for our station, because we need to return to there over as well, remember? And without these pieces, that's not going to succeed. Now, I'm not really sure where exactly the lineup point is for this one, but I feel like somewhere over here is probably... You, man. Well, I am not far off, actually. All I need to do is basically extend this for a little bit. And then, we're golden. Wow. I did not expect to be this much on the money when it comes to returning it. But there we are. Now, as for this ride, you know... on the one hand, I'm happy with the way it looks. On the other hand, I don't know. But this was all that was possible with our current, cash capabilities, so to say. So, we'll just have to run with it, basically. That's what it comes down to. Also, we should test this, really? Really should? Let's do it. Let's test it. Let's have a look at what this thing does, if it crashes or not. So now it will come out of the lifting bit. Also, you know what? Let's just quickly get the rest sorted whilst we wait for the results to come in for this this new slide ride. There. You keep this nice. And then just close these windows. Please don't crash. Oh, wow, it has plenty of speed. It doesn't even need the lift over there. Did you see that? And then it goes back to the station. Yeah. I'm not, you know, at least for now, the test ride, it all looks good. Oh, crap, crap, crap. We need money. Pay me, guests. Pay me. Right, okay. Now, of course, it is not going to be as good as this ride, but, you know, the Blue Dojo. But I am curious. Queue time only 4 minutes. That is definitely not bad at all. Really like that, you know, that queue length. Yeah, nice. 4-minute queue time, that's really good, you know. Guests are not going to complain because they had to wait too long, basically, for this ride. Nice, and it is very high in the ratings. 6, yeah, that's perfect. The slide as well might actually be very good. Just based on the fact that if we take a look at the ride time, it's only 1 minute 10, but in terms of velocity, it reaches... it's difficult to say, but let's go with 70-something kilometers an hour. Something like that. And that's in a rubber boat, I assume, with no safety belts on. And also, this will definitely be cracking your skull here. So, yeah, there's that. Now, this slide might actually be okay. With lots of underground sections, it might not be too bad. Let's see here. Why don't we call this Senzai? Yes, that's definitely what we're gonna call it. Also, I want this to be black, and then black, and then a golden. It actually doesn't look that good. You know, maybe we can switch this around then. This looks okay, if I'm honest. You know, just because of like the black tie in, you know, all those fighting sports, you know, that you have everywhere, you know, the black tie, sensei. That's basically where the color scheme comes from. And, you know, if we zoom out, it's not that it, yeah, I don't know. The golden is also too much. I don't like it. I don't like it. This looks alright. Maybe we can change this to be more like this. And then maybe, what if we do the dinghies golden? I think we should do the dinghies white. We should do them red. Red of the blood. That's, you know, kicked out of your gut if you practice the sports that this thing is named after. Dark red. We'll go with the bright red. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Alright, okay, good. Very good, in fact. Really curious to the ratings of this ride, but as has been the case many a time now, I feel with this park, every time we are about to get ratings, I feel like it's time to end the video, which I'm gonna do right now. So, yeah, join me next time when we discover the ratings of the Sensei and play more Rollercoaster Tycoon.